The bakery smelled of vanilla and hope that rainy November afternoon. Sarah Mitchell wiped down the counter for the third time, watching droplets race down the window. Business had been slow lately. At 42, she'd poured her savings into this little shop, hoping to start fresh after her divorce. Some days, like today, she wondered if she'd made a mistake. The bell above the door chimed. A man stepped inside, water dripping from his expensive coat. He carried a small girl with blonde pigtails and the saddest eyes Sarah had ever seen. The child clutched a worn stuffed rabbit, her pink dress slightly rumpled. "We're looking for a birthday cake," the man said, his voice tight with something like desperation. "Something special for a 4-year-old. Sarah smiled at the little girl. "Well, you've come to the right place. When's the big day, sweetheart?" The child buried her face in her father's shoulder. "Tomorrow," the man said quietly. "Her name is Emma." Sarah studied him properly then. Mid-40s, maybe, dark hair touched with gray at the temples. Expensive suit underneath that coat, but his eyes held a weariness that money couldn't buy away. "Let me show you what we have," Sarah said gently. As she walked them to the display case, the man's phone kept buzzing. He ignored it, focused entirely on his daughter. Emma pointed shyly at a cake decorated with butterflies. "That one?" "Daddy," she whispered. "Then that's the one," he said, kissing her forehead. While Sarah wrote up the order, the man's phone rang again. This time he answered, turning away slightly. "No, Mother, I told you Emma's party is tomorrow." "Yes, I know you can't make it." His jaw tightened. "I understand your charity gala is important." He hung up and stood very still for a moment. Emma tugged his sleeve. "Is Grandma coming?" "She's busy, sweetheart." "But we'll have fun, just you and me." The little girl's face fell. Sarah's heart twisted. The man paid for the cake, left his number, and turned to leave. But at the door, he hesitated. He stood there so long that Sarah finally spoke. "Is everything all right?" He turned back, and she saw something crumbling behind his careful composure. "Can I ask you something?" His voice was barely above a whisper. Something that might sound absolutely insane. Sarah set down her pen. "Try me." He took a breath. "Emma's mother passed away 2 years ago. Breast cancer. She was only 38. The words came faster now, like a dam breaking. "Tomorrow is Emma's birthday, and I promised her a party. I hired people, bought decorations, everything. But my business partner backed out of helping. My mother has her event, and Emma's been crying every night because she wants what other kids have. She wants a mommy at her party." His voice cracked on that last word. Sarah felt her throat tighten. "I know this is crazy," he continued, speaking quickly now. "I know I'm a complete stranger. But watching you with Emma just now, the way you smiled at her, the gentleness in your voice. My name is James Richardson. I can pay you whatever you want. I can provide references, background checks, whatever makes you comfortable." He paused. "Would you consider pretending to be my wife for 1 week? Just until Emma's birthday is over? I can't watch my daughter's heart break again." The bakery went silent except for the rain. Sarah should have said no. Should have called him crazy and shown him the door. But she'd seen Emma's eyes. She'd heard the hollow ache in a father's voice. And something in her own broken heart recognized the sound of someone fighting for the person they loved most. "1 week?" she asked softly. Hope flickered in his face. "The party is tomorrow, but maybe a few days before so Emma can adjust, and a day or two after so it doesn't feel abrupt. I have a guest room, completely separate. This would be purely about giving a little girl one happy birthday." Sarah thought of her empty apartment, her quiet life, the years she'd spent wanting children that never came. "Tell me about her," Sarah said. James's whole face softened. "She loves butterflies and strawberries. She's afraid of the dark, but pretends to be brave. She sings made-up songs. She asks about her mother every single day, and every day I don't know what to say." His voice dropped. "She deserves magic, Sarah. Just once she deserves to feel like other children." Sarah looked at Emma, still clutching her rabbit, watching them with those enormous eyes. "Okay," she heard herself say. "I'll do it," James blinked. "You will? But I have conditions. We tell her the truth afterward, age-appropriately. We don't lie about who I am long-term. This is about giving her a beautiful birthday, not creating a fantasy that'll hurt her more later." "Agreed," he said immediately. "Absolutely agreed." "And I'm doing this for Emma," Sarah added firmly. Not for money. Then we do it your way, James said quietly. Thank you. You have no idea what this means. Sarah closed the bakery early that day. Within hours, she found herself in a world she'd only glimpsed in magazines. James's home was elegant but warm, filled with photos of a smiling woman who'd clearly been loved deeply. Emma showed Sarah her room, her butterfly collection, her mother's music box. Daddy says you're going to help with my party, Emma said carefully. I am, Sarah said, kneeling down to eye level. If that's okay with you? Emma studied her with a seriousness no 4-year-old should possess. Then, slowly, she held out her stuffed rabbit. This is Mr. Hops. Mommy gave him to me. Sarah took the rabbit gently, feeling the weight of trust. He's wonderful. Will you tell me about your mommy? And Emma did. In a small voice, she spoke about memories and photographs, about things she missed and things she imagined. James stood in the doorway, silent tears on his face. That night, they made dinner together. Sarah taught Emma to measure flour. They laughed when they spilled sugar. For brief, shining moments, the house felt alive again. The next morning brought the party. Children arrived in their bright clothes, and Emma glowed. Sarah helped with games and cake and photographs. When Emma blew out her candles, she made a wish with her eyes squeezed tight. Later, when the guests had gone, Emma climbed into Sarah's lap. Today was the best birthday ever, she whispered. I wished for you to stay. Sarah's heart broke and mended simultaneously. She looked at James, saw the same emotion mirrored in his eyes. Emma, Sarah said gently, can I tell you something important? And she did. She explained in simple words about kindness and helping and special friends. She promised that even though she couldn't be Emma's mommy, she could be someone who cared very much. Emma listened, then said, Can you still visit us? I'd love that, Sarah whispered. The week passed too quickly. But something unexpected had happened. In helping heal a little girl's heart, Sarah had started healing her own. And James, who'd built walls around his grief, found them crumbling in the presence of someone who understood loss. 6 months later, Sarah's bakery had a regular customer, a little girl who loved butterfly cupcakes and a man learning to smile again. They took things slowly, carefully, always putting Emma first. But on quiet evenings, when Emma was asleep, James would take Sarah's hand and say, You saved us, and Sarah would shake her head. No, you gave me a reason to open my heart again. Emma did. You both saved me too, because that's the thing about kindness. It never just goes one direction. Sometimes the help we offer others is exactly the healing we need ourselves. And sometimes, the family we choose becomes the greatest gift of all. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more heartwarming tales. Leave a comment below about a time someone's kindness changed your life. Your story matters too.